Alright, what's going on everybody? Welcome back to another video here on the channel, and today, man, we're taking a look at an article that, for me, it just kind of, unfortunately, in a way, highlights the real tragedy of the world now. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and pretend like I'm some sort of always outside, always active health and fitness guru or anything like that, right? I mean, I make YouTube videos for a living, so I have to be terminally online to some degree, but the idea of people now, like, reinventing the wheel and acting as if going outside without electronics is some sort of, like, fascinating new revolutionary concept that will just change people's lives, it's kind of wild. It's almost like, honest to God, this seems like it could be the plot premise for a whole ass episode of South Park. Like, this is some shit where, like, in my head, I'm picturing Cartman, Kenny, Kyle, Stan walking into town, and then everybody, like, doesn't have their phones, and fucking Randy walks up, oh, hey, son, we're all off our phones doing, hold on, let me see what this shit's called again here, my fault. Oh, silent walking trend. Like, what the fuck are we guys talking about here, you know what I mean? So, anyway, there is, like, a viral TikTok movement or trend or something going on, and it's all been sparked by, I believe, this one video that's mentioned in this article we're gonna take a look at, where apparently people have discovered if you go outside of your house and you don't spend your time outside of the house, you know, listening to Joe Rogan Experience or staring at your phone texting or watching Netflix on the park bench, you know, you can actually, like, interact with and enjoy the world and the surroundings, like, outside of you, and you can, like, actually reset yourself a little bit mentally and physically when you go outside and just enjoy the world without technology, like all humans were built to do. So anyway, with that being said, let's go ahead and start going through this article, because honestly, man, like, you're probably gonna think I'm trolling when you read some of this, but dude, this is from the New York Post. Like, this is somewhat legit, you know? If there's one thing Gen Z knows how to do, it's setting trends. We've had, quote, everything showers, quote, bed rotting, and even, quote, bare minimum Mondays, which have been adopted to varying degrees of social media fanfare. And now the latest Gen Z, quote, movement taking the youngest generation by storm is ironically not that new at all. They call it silent walking, that is, going for a walk without their phones or without listening to music, podcasts, or any sort of technological distraction. Podcaster Mady Mayo, I'm not sure how to pronounce it honestly, takes credit for, quote, unintentionally starting a movement that she promises will, quote, change your life. Okay, so basically this is going to be advice here I'm going to give you for free, okay, that will actually change your guys' life. I know so many of you right now, you know, you just sit inside all day, you stare at the fucking computer screen, you stare at your phone, you're watching my YouTube videos, you're eating Kraft mac and cheese, you're shitting in the toilet and then walking right back to bed to watch 7 more hours of internet content, okay? Here's a little bit of advice, okay? If you do actually go out your front or back door, if you have one, and you, like, go outside and you do shit, and you, like, I don't know, play with a stick on the ground or, like, skip rocks across a fucking river or something, you know, it turns out that you will actually feel better. You know, like, all the time how you constantly feel mentally stressed and you feel socially polluted by the cancerous, toxic, gaseous social cloud that is social media and online interaction. You can actually remedy the effects of that if you go out into the real world and, like, you know, kind of socialize with people, right? No, but in all seriousness, right, it genuinely is sad that we as a society have kind of progressed in this direction where, like, the younger generation is so used to just being, like, technologically crippled by social media and constant dopamine sources to the brain from all the constant entertainment and shit, that the concept of, like, walking down the street without your phone is just a foreign idea. As if, like, people genuinely needed a movement ever in time before this to just go outside and walk. Or, like, go in the yard, or anything. No AirPods, no podcast, no music, just me, myself, and I, she said in the video, which has now gained almost 500,000 views. And at first I was like, fuck no, my anxiety could never. Which is probably what you're thinking, but something within me was like, let's just try it. Mayo said the first 2 minutes of her walk were, quote, mayhem, until she hit a, quote, flow state when, quote, suddenly you can hear yourself. I don't know, it's mind-boggling to me that people are having the sudden revelation in life that if you don't constantly pump your fucking eardrums and eyeballs full of, like, media franchises and constant music and podcasts and stimulation that your brain can actually entertain itself and your brain can actually process shit and like do like cool fucking things. That's kind of insane. And it's sad because this is a little off topic, but it's also kind of related. And I feel like I'm elderly saying this, but I swear to God, I'm in my mid-20s. When I have children, they will not be these iPad kids that are getting fucking raised today. That is so pathetic. And I think that kind of parenting and that kind of raising children is in large part what's going to be raising people to be acting just like this, to like actually think like, oh yeah, going outside without my devices is such a foreign concept that I actually take it as a transitional moment in my life when I discover how good it can be for me. Maybe if like every time I went to a sit-down restaurant, every 4-year-old child in the restaurant didn't have fucking Bluey playing on a tablet, or every time I've gone to like the park with my family or friends and kids, instead of playing on the playground equipment, are all sitting on the fucking seesaws watching and making TikToks together, right? Like, I know I sound like a boomer or like your grandpa or my grandpa when I say that, but like, you kind of can see how that shit is starting to play out in society now. I mean, even like really young kids, like 12, 13 now that I see out in like Walmart and in public, sure, they've always acted entitled and bratty, but now it's not even because like they didn't get the fucking cool Lego set. Like when I was a kid, like that's what kids were freaking out over. Now it's because their parents won't let them watch fucking TikToks while they push the cart around at Walmart. Like, it's actually kind of scary, to be very genuinely truthful with you. Like, it actually feels like we're moving in a point in society where like newer people, newer generations are kind of losing touch in a way with what makes a person human, you know? Quote, my brain fog lifted. Suddenly all these ideas are flowing into me because I'm giving them space to enter. Quote, look, if I can do it, you can do it. I promise, just try it out. Give yourself the gift of getting quiet and listening to the whispers. Mayo may have made silent walking go viral, but the term was coined as far back as January by New York City influencer Ariel Lorre, who also spruiked the benefits of the action on her podcast in April. Quote, I feel like when I walk in silence, my senses are on high alert. I smell everything, I hear everything, I'm seeing everything, and it's so grounding for me, she said. This sounds like insane to me, but like, I don't get how people like comfortably walk, especially through like cities and like major cities, with like no social awareness or anything. Like if I have to walk down the sidewalk, like if let's say I go like downtown, and in America, right, like parking is kind of hard a lot of the time in like big areas because there's so many fucking people and everybody has a car. So like you have to park maybe like half a mile sometimes away, right? You have to walk to wherever you're going. Really not that big of a deal to pretty much anyone who can walk, really. But like for me, if I have music playing, like it's just one AirPod and my other ear is able to hear shit happening around me. I'm not staring down at my phone. I'm looking around and monitoring my fucking surroundings. And not even just because like I'm paranoid, but like I feel like it's just the thing you should do. I mean, I like to be very socially self-aware. I like to know what's going on around me at all times. I don't want to be that dickhead staring at his phone listening to music who walks into somebody because I wasn't paying attention, or walks out into the middle of the street and almost gets ran over by a fucking car, or God forbid I walk past the wrong alley and get mugged by some dude because I wasn't paying attention. Like the concept that people don't actually pay any attention to the world around them and they just only care about their phone, it kind of scares me as somebody who loves my phone. I use it out in public. I'm not going to sit here and act like I don't, but like people are so addicted to them now that like they don't even look up from them. They forget that they have human senses. I'm confused here. Like they're literally saying like when I walk in silence, my senses are on high alert, which to me indicates like when they're listening to music or like looking at their phones, they're not smelling shit. They're not hearing everything. They're not looking around and seeing things. And like these, honestly, I'm just gonna say it, are two women, okay? As a man, I don't have to worry about a lot of things that women have to worry about when they're walking around out in public. Truth be told, if I was a woman, there's no way I'm wearing both fucking headphones while I walk down the street. Like, the idea that they weren't silent walking to some degree already, honestly blows my fucking mind. Like, just in all reality here, just completely honestly here. Gen Z just discovered walking, another wrote. Someone proposed another idea. We've discovered this new idea called thinking. A number of TikTok users mocked the silent walkers, saying there's a lot of things they can do when they log off their phone. Quote, what I don't understand is how you look at someone walking with no tech and go, holy shit, what are they doing? That's a new method. I haven't seen this before. The fact it's causing such a stir online points to a much bigger trend in society, the way we're so dependent on phones. Multiple studies have shown spending time in nature is beneficial for our health, and almost as many studies emerge about the harms of spending too much time on phones. It goes on to also explain about how governments are trying to ban devices in high schools so that students aren't falling behind socially and academically, and also how distracted pedestrians pedestrians are at an increased risk of injuries and harm in public. So apparently it's just safer to walk without your phone. It should just be common sense, man. Like, yeah, if you're not staring at fucking Rick and Morty playing on your phone while you walk across the crosswalk, turns out you actually have less of a chance of getting hit by a car. Who would ever thunk that one, right? Well, apparently anyone who wasn't in Gen Z would have thunked that, because now my generation is inventing something that's existed for the entire history of humanity. What's next? Are we going to bring out the idea, the new revolutionary concept of silent eating? Hey guys, I came up with this new TikTok trend. Instead of watching YouTube or television while you eat dinner tonight, just stare at the wall and eat. It resets your brain. You actually aren't poisoned mentally by all the garbage you consume on a constant basis. Like, who would have thought? You know what I mean? I just, like, who the fuck doesn't know this? I'm just confused, right? Like, you don't, once again, have to be like a health and fitness expert or anything to realize either. Like, yeah, maybe if I don't spend 15 hours a day watching TikTok and I spend 2 hours a day walking around the neighborhood without my phone in my hand, I'll actually be healthier and feel better. That just kind of sounds like common sense, you know what I mean? That just sounds like something pretty much anybody should know, right? I don't know, apparently not, according to this situation. So anyway, with that being said, thank you guys for watching. If you did enjoy, make sure to leave a like, subscribe if you're brand new around here on the channel. Follow me over on Twitter and Twitch at @SubTheOptimus. Make sure to check out Shoptimus down below. Thank you to my Watch Optimus subscribers. Your support helps the channel tremendously. And until my next video, guys, this is Optimus, well, talking about just this ridiculous quote-unquote trend and signing out.